All right. Hi, I'm fifth graders. On Monday, we started our water unit and we were looking at your water footprint. So over the past 24 hours, sometime over the last 2 days, you have calculated how much water you use at your house. So you know how many liters of water you use, and you've sent those to me. And so that's was super interesting, I think, to see how much water you're using. But that's the water that you can actually see. There's a lot of water that you're using that's hidden from you that you're not even thinking about. And so today we're going to talk about those ways that you're using water when you don't even know it. And one of the biggest ways we use water is in our food sources. So we're going to play a little predicting game. So you're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil, so you can pause it here if you don't have that. And you're going to need to write down your predictions. Now, the choices are always going to stay the same, but I'm going to give you 6 different pictures of food sources. So for this one, predict how much water you think it takes to produce 1 pound of beef. Water is needed to grow cow feed, to feed the cows, and for processing the meat. And so how much water do you think it takes to produce 1 pound of hamburger meat? Do you think it's approximately 119 gallons of water, approximately 468 gallons of water, approximately 1,800 gallons of water, approximately 240 gallons of water, approximately 2,000 gallons of water, or approximately 880 gallons of water? So you can write down what you think your prediction is. You could just write down beef and then whatever number you pick. All right, number 2. Predict how much water you think it takes to produce 1 pound of almonds. So water is needed for the almond tree to grow and maintain its structure, and for the leaves to photosynthesize. How much water do you think it takes to grow 1 pound of almonds? If you need more time to think, press pause. You can always rewind too if you need to change your prediction for beef. Okay, number 3. Predict how much water you think it takes to produce 1 pound of chicken. Water is needed to grow chicken feed, to feed the chickens, and for processing the meat. How much water do you think it takes to produce 1 pound of chicken? Next, potatoes. How much water do you think it takes to produce 1 pound of potatoes? Water is needed for the potato plant to grow and maintain its structure, and for the leaves to photosynthesize. So write down your guess. You can just write like potatoes and then the number you think for potatoes. All right. Next is a loaf of bread. Predict how much water you think it takes to produce 1 loaf of bread. The water is needed to grow the wheat. And then the last prediction is for a gallon of milk. Predict how much water you think it takes to produce 1 gallon of milk. Water is needed to grow cow feed, to feed the cows, and for processing the milk. So write down your guess. So right now on your paper, you should have written beef, potato, milk, a loaf of bread, a pound of chicken, and a pound of almonds. And next to each one, you should have a different number recorded. Now, if you need more time or you need to go back in the video, you can press pause and rewind right now, because I'm going to go on and reveal the answers next. So if you don't want to see the answers, pause so you can think about it more. And then when you're ready, go ahead and press play. Okay, so I think you have your predictions ready. And dun, 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 here are the answers. Water footprint of common food sources. To produce 1 pound of beef takes about 1,800 gallons of water. They also give you the liter amount if you're interested in that. But since we're really familiar with gallons, that's what I chose to talk about. To grow 1 pound of potatoes takes only 119 gallons of water. So that's a big difference. It takes a lot more water for a pound of beef than it does for a pound of potatoes. Pound of chicken is about 468 gallons of water. A loaf of bread is 240 gallons of water to grow that wheat. To produce a gallon of milk is 880 gallons of water. And to produce 1 pound of almonds, that was the biggest one, 2,000 gallons of water. I was super surprised when I did this the first time. I definitely thought beef would use the most, and it turns out that almonds do, but beef is not far behind. Here's a food sources bar graph to kind of show you in a more of a visual way the different amounts of water that's required to produce these different foods. So I'm going to ask you guys some questions. So of the 6 foods we looked at, which one requires the least amount of water? Okay, everybody probably said potatoes. And which food source requires the most amount of water? We all said almonds. You guys could probably think of some more questions you might want to ask about these water. I'll give you one more, a math one. How much water, if I was going to have a hamburger and French fries with a glass of milk, how much water would that require? So for that answer, you need a couple minutes probably to add up some things. Think about how much water it takes for a pound of beef, plus how much water it takes for a pound of potatoes, plus how much water it takes for a gallon of milk. And you can get some ideas of how much water is going into producing dinner for your family. All right, so now I'm going to read to you a little bit from a book that I have called Water in My Day, because there's some other ways that you are also using water besides your food sources. So Water in My Day. How many things do you do every day that require water? Could you come up with 10 things? Some tasks that require water are obvious because we can see the water we use, but water is used for more than you might realize. Let's begin with using water in the morning. In the morning, you use water that comes out of the sink for washing your hands and face and brushing your teeth. You use about 1.5 gallons of water for those tasks. You need water for the toilet to work properly. Each time you flush, you use between 1.6 and 5 gallons of water. You eat breakfast. Many breakfast foods contain water. Grains need water to grow before they become cereal or bread. Fruits and vegetables need water to grow before they are picked. After they are grown, they still retain large amounts of water. Many fruits are at least 80% water, which is why they are so juicy. And don't let the color of fruit juice mislead you. Orange juice is more than 50% water. Next, you get dressed. You probably have a few pair of jeans and shirts to choose from. Cotton and other fibers that need water to grow. It takes at least 1,800 gallons of water to grow the cotton needed for one pair of jeans. Count the number of people wearing jeans in just your classroom. How many pairs do you think are in the whole school today? Don't forget about the colors in those jeans and shirts. Water goes into the dyes that give clothes different colors. So we don't have to wear only white. When you leave your home in the morning, you travel to school. Maybe you travel by bus or by car or on your bicycle. Those modes of transportation all have something in common: tires. Tires are dark colored, solid, and heavy. They are made of rubber. Water is part of the process that makes rubber. It takes a little more than 2,000 gallons of water to make 4 tires. Some vehicles need more than 4 tires. There is another important thing that may help you get to school. Cars and buses need gasoline to fuel them. Water is necessary to refine oil and turn it into gasoline. It takes at least 1 gallon of water to turn oil into 1 gallon of gasoline. In the middle of the day. During the day, you get thirsty. Is there a drinking fountain in your classroom or in the hallway at school? Public places provide water fountains because people need to drink water to stay healthy. The average person needs to drink 8 small glasses of water a day. Maybe you have a plastic bottle that you carry with you. Water was used to produce the bottle. It takes 24 gallons of water to make 1 pound of plastic. Lunch boxes, drinking straws, and even some school desk chairs are everyday objects made out of plastic. Next, you have a writing assignment to do in your notebook. Paper and pencil erasers are more products that you wouldn't have without water to make them. Do you use colored pencils in art class? Water is hiding in them too. Even though you can't see some of it, water has really made a difference in your day. Chores at home. At home, you and your family have household chores to do. You have to wash dishes and clothes. The machines you use to wash them can use up to 56 gallons of water. Some floors are made of material that has to be mopped. You might wet a sponge for some cleaning jobs. Does your home have a garden? People water the grass, plants, and flowers outside their homes to keep the land healthy. People wash cars so that dirt and salt don't damage the paint or the metal. Some foods need to be washed before you prepare them, or they need to be cooked in boiling water. Are you done using water today? Not yet. You will want to take a bath or shower. It takes an average of 36 gallons of water to fill a bathtub. A shower uses about 2 to 5 gallons of water per minute. And don't forget animals, they need water too. Animals are living things that need water to drink, and they need baths. Some animals, like fish, need to live in clean water. Let's add this water up. It turns out each person uses an estimated 80 to 100 gallons of water in one day. That's just the water we see, not how much it takes to make our clothes and other everyday objects. We really need a lot of water in our daily lives. And so the purpose of this lesson was really for you to see how important water is to our everyday life and how it really is one of our most valuable resources. And so the next thing I want you guys to do, oh, wait, I do want to present that. I'm sorry. Let me put that back on. I want to show you. So now you're going to go to your Google Docs and you are going to click on this page and answer just a couple questions for me before the lesson's over. So after you finish this video, you're going to click on your assignment, which is water for common food sources. Type in your name and your teacher's name, and there are 3 questions. What are all the ways you use water? So think of as many as you can to fill in this space. How would you define your water footprint? What does that mean? And if each of us needs water for drinking, eating, and for the productions of things we need, like clothes, all the water we use adds up. Where do you think all that water comes from? And so here you're going to write, and that's really what we're going to talk about next week, is where we get this water from. All right, so do your best, fill out the common food sources and turn that in to me by Friday. And I hope you guys have a great day.